Today, just a short reflection on Psalm 30. Psalm 30 reads like this. I will exalt you, Lord, for you rescued me. You refused to let my enemies triumph over me. O Lord my God, I cried to you for help, and you restored my health. You brought me up from the grave, O Lord. You kept me from falling into the pit of death. Sing to the Lord, all you godly ones, praise his holy name. For his anger lasts only a moment, but his favour lasts a lifetime. Weeping may last through the night, but joy comes in the morning. When I was prosperous, I said, nothing can stop me now. Your favour, O Lord, made me as secure as a mountain. Then you turned away from me, and I was shattered. I cried out to you, O Lord. I begged the Lord for mercy, saying, what will you gain if I die, if I sink into the grave? Can my dust praise you? Can it tell of your faithfulness? Hear me, Lord, and have mercy on me. Help me, O Lord. And you have turned my mourning into joyful dancing. You have taken away my clothes of mourning and clothed me with joy, that I may sing praises to you and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give you thanks forever. As I read this psalm this morning, it reminded me of the temporary nature of our lives. Perhaps in this particular time that we're going through, we've been reminded all the more that we are mortal beings, that our lives will have an end, and that our human nature is ephemeral. We're passing through this way. And there's a Persian saying that you might well know. It says, this too shall pass, reminding us that whether we're experiencing joy or pain and sadness, that this too will pass. One of the TV shows that I can watch over and over again, it's quite old now, but is The West Wing. It's a political drama about the two-term presidency of Josiah Bartlet. And he is a man with many flaws, but he is a committed Roman Catholic. He seeks to be prayerful in what he does. And perhaps the show has a slightly rose-tinted perspective on a president who is a good man and does lots of good, but is frustrated by perhaps his own lack of progress. But in one of the episodes, his presidency is rocked by a mass shooting in a high school. And later that same day, the president is expected to address a large gathering. And he opens his address with words from this psalm, from verse 5, when he says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And he says, I hope so. I hope so. Because I don't know if life would be worth living if it didn't. As a Christian, I always have hope. That's not to say that life is always full of joy and happiness, but I do always have hope. And I think hope is about trust. Trust that God will lead us through even the most difficult of experiences, and that on the other side of those things, there will be joy. That those difficult experiences too shall pass. And I know of many people who've been through some of the most painful experiences of life and yet have held on to hope. I think of one of my closest friends who lost his young wife, a mother to 3 young children at a very early age. And yet I know that difficult as that experience was, extremely painful, he never lost hope. That sense that our weeping, our times of trial and pain are nothing compared to the joy that comes through a relationship with God. Because in the resurrection of Jesus, we see lived out the final verses of this psalm. As Jesus shows us that even death is not the end, we read that you have turned my mourning into joyful dancing. You've taken away the grave clothes and clothed me with joy, that I might sing praises to you and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give you thanks forever. And so I pray that we would hold on to the hope that we have in a relationship with God through Jesus Christ, that this life is passing away, but there is better to come. Weeping may last for a night, but joy comes in the morning.